for my third whiskey of the night. Okay, I lied. It's my fourth whiskey of the night. So shoot me. My first whiskey was a Liberator, Canadian whiskey, which was made from distillates of wheat and corn, aged in an ex-bourbon barrel, which I suspect had a high rye content because I was getting some rye spice on it. The next one was a BC Liquor Store Barrel Select Buffalo Trace bourbon whiskey bottled at 45% ABV and 8 years old. Fantastic. My third one was, well, I went into my bourbon and rye infinity bottle and had one of those while editing and rendering those last two videos. So this would be my fourth whiskey of the evening. It is a High West whiskey entitled Campfire, and that's a cool little picture on there. Now I'm going to pour me a glass of this High West whiskey Campfire, and then I'm going to read all the fine print that's on the back. But first, let me tell you what it says on the front. The Campfire, made with straight rye whiskey, straight bourbon whiskey, blended malt Scotch whiskey, bottled by High West Distillery in Park City, Utah. Batch number 20A, the letter A, 15, 46% alcohol by volume. So let's get this open and see what it has to say on this fine print over here. This is the first time I've had a product from High West, so I don't know what to expect. And that blending with blended malt Scotch whiskey might be interesting. Rye, bourbon, and malt Scotch whiskey. Okay, here we go. Oh, beautiful pop. And a composite cork. Huh. Okay. Let's get that in a glass. A little more. Make it a quig-sized dram. It made all the right noises coming out. Now while I let this sit here into the glass, I will read what it says on the back label. All right, High West, American whiskey blend, mélange de whisky américain, product of USA, produit des États-Unis. 46% alcohol by volume, 750 mils. Bottled by embouteillé par High West Distillery, 703 Park Avenue, Park City, Utah. Return for refund where applicable. Consigné là où la loi le prescrit. There we go. I know, I'm losing the ability to roll my R's because I don't speak French very much anymore. I was going to write something cheesy about cowboys, campfires, and whiskey, but I figured you might be more interested in how Campfire whiskey came to be. One morning at the Bruichladdich Distillery, B&B, my wife and I smelled peat in the air. The great ladies that made our meals were simmering a bottle of peated whiskey and sugar. Later that night, they brought out dessert of ripe honeydew drizzled with the peated syrup. That was the most unusual, delicious, and memorable ending to a dinner I've ever had. The combination of Melon and sweet smoke really worked. So naturally, I thought, why not mix sweet bourbon and peat? The main flavor or melody is sweet honey from a ripe bourbon. Yee. Um, the reducing flavor or harmony is a floral, fruity spice from a mature rye whiskey. The accent, uh, Satchmo gravelly voice, is smoke from a peated Scotch whiskey. The proportions, top secret. Campfire is carefully crafted from sourced whiskeys. See highwest.com for details. This is part of the summer BC liquor stores Summer Spirits Release 2020, by the way, just so you know. That's where I got it. So as the sun sinks low and the cold settles in, grab a bottle of Campfire whiskey and gather around a blazing fire to warm up. Wind down your day, share stories, and deepen friendships. One taste of this sweet, spicy, and yes, smoky whiskey, you'll know how it got its name. We like to enjoy Campfire whiskey with s'mores or good-looking strangers. If you find yourself in Old Town Park City, you ought to come visit the High West Distillery and Saloon and get a taste of our Western hospitality and our crowd-pleasing victuals. Founder and master distiller, government warning. High West's home in historic Old Town Park City and the world's only ski-in gastro distillery. Wow. What next? So, this will end up being a hybrid mishmash, something or other. Like I said, it's my first time having anything from High West. Okay. Right away, I'm getting something smoky. There is some smoke in there, but it's not overly strong. What I do get is peat smoke, and I'm getting some kind of sweetness. Some kind of sweetness and some spicy rye note. Is that weird? It's different. It's definitely different. I wonder which blend of Scotch malt whiskey went into this. Because simultaneously, I am getting a rye spice, I'm getting a peat smoke, and I'm getting some vanilla from bourbon. This is different and unprecedented. But I kind of like the spirit of experimentation that they put into this. Yeah, I'm getting creosoted railway ties with my brown sugar, um, and dill, maybe a little bit of dill. Strange. Yeah, a little bit of dill. And this is different. There is the peat smoke. There is a bit of dill. There's some corn sweetness. Different. Very different. I'm going to have to cleanse my palate just a little bit before I take a pull on this. That is just weird. Wow. That is different. I'm still trying to figure out if all the flavors harmonize or if they clash. Because I'm getting a smoky, ashy, peated aftertaste. And a little bit of that rye spice in the finish as well. And some caramel and vanilla, but it's rather faint. Different. I'm still trying to determine if the flavors harmonize or clash. You get the corn sweetness. I get some smoky, ashy. I'm getting a little bit of dill. I'm also getting some marshmallow, which would go good on the campfire as well. It's it would be interesting to see how this develops as the fill level goes down on the bottle. Very tall, slim bottle. I'm getting elements of rye, bourbon, and ashy, smoky Islay Scotch whiskey. Yeah, there's that sweet bourbon, and then the spicy rye, and then boom, you get hit by that ashen smoke. It's like these flavors don't naturally belong together, but on some weird level it works. Like I said, it will be interesting to see how this develops as the bottle fill level goes down. This is quite some curiosity. It's a very interesting experience. And what's also interesting is that the three elements are balanced in such a way that no one screams out more for attention than the other two. You got just the right amount of ashen smoke, just the right amount of bourbon sweetness, and just about the right amount of rye, spice, and dill. Very interesting. And sometimes it's almost like one of the elements wants to dominate the other two. But then the other two come back and try to dominate the one. And yeah. This is definitely an exercise in balance. Now, for legs, thick. Down they go. Sheeting action. Trails of droplets. Cost. $74.99. So $3.75 goods and service tax plus $7.50 liquor tax, 10-cent bottle deposit plus 74.99, 74.9. That would be. No, that can't be right. Do this again. I have a few drinks and my adding abilities are down. 7.5 divided by 2 plus 7.5 plus 0.1 plus 74.99. I was right. I was right the first time. It just seemed too high. $86.34 out the door. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey for what you're getting, but it is a unique experience. Try one more time. I don't think it needs any water. Besides, I don't have a spoon here. I put it in the dishwashing. I should pull out another spoon maybe for the next whiskey. But this is definitely unique. I've never had anything quite like it. And the balance is perfect between the three elements. Yeah. Cheers.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Yeah.